All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you had a good time during that session and that you guys got a lot of value from it. So what I want to kind of transition to now is I want to start transitioning from, we talked about earlier where we talked about who's your dream client, where are they at, what's the bait you're going to get with them, and then where are you going to send them. So now we're going to be talking about kind of the bait that we're going to use to grab them, and then how we're going to send them up to our highest level offerings, okay? And so for those of you guys who've gone through the book or the training, you know I've talked a lot about value ladders, okay? And so a value ladder is basically somebody comes into your universe and you got to provide value to them. If they receive value, they're naturally going to want more. They're going to want to ascend up and get more stuff, okay? And that's just kind of how humans work, right? Like for example, we got to eat, let's say we go to this great sushi place and we eat it and it's just amazing. What do we want? We want more of that. We want to come back. We want to take sushi classes from these guys. We want to like, we naturally want to ascend up and get more and more. And so when we're structuring our businesses, that's the goal, is to like at every level, every interaction somebody has with us, we want to give them so much value that like, wow, I need more of this. We want to cause addictions in our customers, okay? I always think about that. It sounds kind of goofy and kind of weird, but if you can cause an addiction with your customers, they keep wanting to come back over and over and over again, that's like the best thing in the world, okay? And so we do that through funnels. Now, inside the .com Secrets book, I share a lot of different types of sales funnels. And I don't want to talk about all of them today because some of them are more advanced funnels, some of them they're used in different, like more unique situations. But there's three core funnels that we use typically in almost all of our businesses. And for you guys, you're probably at some point or another going to use all three of them. But to begin with, I want you guys to pick the one that's going to make the most sense for you to start with. Okay? Sometimes some businesses, and I'm going to walk you guys through the three kind. The first type of funnel is typically kind of on the bottom of the value ladder, and it's called a tripwire funnel. And this is where you're selling low ticket things to, again, provide value and make somebody want to ascend up. Okay, in the middle of the value ladder, we typically sell through something we call the perfect webinar. And the perfect webinar is usually you're selling products more expensive, somewhere from $300 up to $2,000 or $3,000. And in the back, we have a high ticket funnel where we're selling super expensive, anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000, $1 million or more. Okay, and so that's kind of the process. Now, I used to teach people. I used to believe that you had to bring someone into the value ladder at the bottom and then ascend them up. But the reality, what I've seen, especially recently over the last year and a half or 2 years, is that each of these types of funnels kind of is a value ladder in and of itself, if that makes sense. Okay, for example, like a tripwire funnel, and I'll show you guys a bunch of examples of this. Typically, a tripwire is like a really low ticket thing. It might be free plus shipping, or it might be $7, something really, really low. And so somebody buys that, and it's an easy transaction for them. They buy it, and all of a sudden they get this thing, they get some value, and then you're going to naturally want to send up. Okay, so sometimes we'll drive traffic to a tripwire, but sometimes, like for example, Liz, when she came to our coaching program, she didn't have any of these things, and for her, it made the most sense to start with the webinar. And so she did a webinar. Now, what's interesting is that her webinar was selling a $1,000 product. You might think, who's going to come to Liz and they've never met her before, and all of a sudden give her $1,000? Well, typically you won't because again, she hasn't provided value. So the sales process changes a little bit. Okay, so for here with the perfect webinar, somebody comes, they register for webinar for free. They sit on, they hear her talk for 60, 90 minutes where she sells her product, and in that process, she's providing tons of value. And so because of the sales process, she's able to sell a $1,000 thing because the webinar, that process provides the value. So you can drive traffic directly to here. Same thing with the high ticket funnel. We drive people all day long from cold traffic to a high ticket funnel, and it works because the way the sales process works, where it's warming someone up and they're getting value during the sales funnel. And when they do that, they're able and they're more likely to spend really, really expensive things. Okay, and so it's important to understand that you don't have to start with this. You don't have to start with, you pick the one that makes the most sense for your type of business, and then you kind of craft that one out first. And so one of my goals for this for you guys is to figure out which one of these am I going to create first, and then we're going to laser focus in on that. Okay. So again, tripwires are typically selling lower ticket things, anywhere from $0 free plus shipping type things up to $10, $20, something like that. Perfect webinar, you're selling anywhere from $300 to $2,000 or $3,000, and high tickets usually $2,000 or $3,000 up to as big as your imagination will allow you to dream. And so that's kind of the game plan. So those are the three different funnels.